All right, so welcome to this deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at understanding money,
Yeah.
and not just like the how to make it part, but like its deeper impact on our lives. And get this,
Okay.
our source material is actually aimed at English language learners,
Interesting.
but it's full of insights that apply to like anyone who uses money,
Right.
which is pretty much everybody, right?
Everyone, yeah.
So knowing you like to get to the heart of things.
I do.
Let's extract the gold from this material together. What do you think?
Sounds good. Let's get into it.
Okay. So the source kicks off with a pretty basic question. Why does money even matter?
Mm-hmm.
And the simple answer is, it lets us buy things we need and want.
Right.
Obviously, food, shelter, healthcare. Those are a given.
Yeah.
But then it also opens doors to education, travel, entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
The things that boost our quality of life.
It seems obvious, but reflecting on it really helps us appreciate the power of money.
That's a good point.
It's the key to accessing resources we need to not only survive, but actually thrive.
Thrive, yeah.
Imagine life without money.
Oh, gosh.
Suddenly the everyday things we take for granted
Yeah.
become huge challenges.
It would be a barter system.
Exactly.
That would be so inefficient.
It really highlights how much we rely on money
Yeah.
to function in a modern world.
In a modern world, for sure. Now, here's where things get interesting.
Okay.
The source emphasizes that money is a tool. It's not the end game.
Right.
It's the means, not the destination.
Mhm.
Like, money can buy you a plane ticket,
Yeah.
but it's the travel experience that brings the joy.
Good, great analogy.
So the key takeaway is that money unlocks options.
It does.
It's the fuel,
It is.
not the destination itself. So instead of just thinking like money buys things,
Yeah.
think about how to use money to create those experiences that bring you joy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's spending less on stuff so you can travel more, or investing in your hobbies.
Yeah.
What are some fulfilling experiences that you've had that money helped make possible? It's a big question.
It is a big question. It pushes us to think beyond simply acquiring wealth
For sure.
and actually consider how we can use it to shape a life aligned with our values.
Totally. Okay, so if money is a tool, we need to know how to use it well, right?
We do.
That's where financial responsibility comes in.
Yes.
Budgeting, saving, and avoiding debt. Those are the big three.
The big three for sure.
Highlighted in the source.
And these are more than just rules. They're tools for reducing stress and building a more secure future.
Yeah,
Think of it as empowerment, not restriction.
I like that.
Yeah. When you manage your money effectively,
Yeah.
you gain control and freedom.
The source even mentions financial literacy, understanding how money works. It's like knowing how to drive.
Absolutely.
You get the rules of the road, you're safer, and you can go farther.
Financial literacy empowers you to make informed decisions about your money.
Yeah.
You're not just reacting to situations.
Right.
You're actively shaping your financial future.
All right, now for something a bit unexpected, the source connects good financial habits
Mm-hmm.
with healthier relationships.
Interesting.
It sounds kind of counterintuitive.
It does. But hear me out.
Okay, I'm listening.
When couples share financial goals,
Yeah.
there's less conflict and more trust.
It makes sense when you think about it.
Right. Arguing about money,
Huge relationship killer.
the worst. So when you're on the same page financially,
Yeah.
you can focus on building a life together
Right.
instead of stressing over bills.
So true. Think about your own relationships.
Oh, yeah.
Are there areas where better financial communication or shared goals could reduce tension?
That's a good question. It's all about alignment.
It is. When couples are financially aligned, they can focus on shared dreams and aspirations.
Yeah.
It fosters a deeper sense of partnership.
Now, this next point really resonated with me.
Okay.
The source points out how our views on money change throughout life.
Oh, for sure.
Like what mattered in our 20s might seem insignificant in our 40s.
Absolutely. Priorities shift, and that's completely normal.
Yeah. Early on, it's often about security, just having enough to cover the basics.
Right.
Later, the focus might shift to freedom, having the resources to pursue passions or travel the world. And for some, it eventually becomes about legacy, leaving something behind for future generations.
Oh, that's a good point.
You being so efficient probably already have a good grasp on your priorities.
Yeah, probably.
But it's always good to reevaluate as you move through life.
I love that point. It's like doing a financial checkup to make sure your habits are still serving you.
Exactly.
And speaking of things changing over time, let's dive into the next section. So we've talked about how our views on money change over time, but what about the practical side of things?
Right.
Earlier, we touched on budgeting, saving, avoiding debt, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Great in theory, but how do we actually put it into practice?
Well, let's break those down a bit further.
Okay.
The source material doesn't go into specifics.
Right.
But we can flesh it out.
Okay.
So, for example,
Yeah.
budgeting, it isn't about restriction.
Okay.
It's about making conscious choices.
Yeah.
Where do you want your money to go?
It's about aligning your spending with your values.
Exactly.
If travel is your thing, maybe you cut back on takeout to save for that trip.
Right. If experiences were more important to you than material possessions,
Right.
then your budget should reflect that.
And saving isn't just about like stashing cash for a rainy day.
No.
It's about actively building towards your goals.
Right. Okay.
Whether that's a down payment on a house or early retirement or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's debt.
Yeah.
The source mentions avoiding it, but let's be real, a lot of people have some form of debt.
Of course.
Like it's just a part of life for a lot of folks.
Yeah. The key is managing it responsibly,
Responsibly, yeah.
understanding interest rates,
Yeah.
making those payments on time,
Mm-hmm.
having a solid plan to pay it down strategically.
So minimizing the negative impacts
Exactly.
while still making progress.
Yes.
So financial responsibility is about having a clear picture of your income, your expenses, your goals,
Yeah.
and then using that knowledge to make informed decisions.
You got it.
Almost like plotting a course on a map.
Exactly. You're the captain of your financial ship, charting your course and making adjustments along the way.
Okay, I like that analogy.
And just like a skilled captain,
Yeah.
you need the right tools and knowledge
You do.
to navigate effectively.
Okay, let's shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about how money affects our relationships.
Okay.
Earlier, we mentioned how shared financial goals can strengthen those bonds.
Right.
But what happens when couples have, like, different money habits or priorities?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's a recipe for disaster.
That's where open and honest communication is crucial.
Yeah.
The source highlights trust and shared decision-making when it comes to finances in a relationship.
It's about having those tough conversations.
It is.
About spending habits, financial goals, what each person truly values.
Yeah.
Not always easy,
No.
but definitely important.
Very important.
Hmm.
It's not about agreeing on everything. It's about understanding and respecting each other's perspectives, even if they differ.
That's a good point.
You and your partner might have different approaches to money,
Mm-hmm.
and that's okay.
Yeah.
The important thing is to find a way to work together.
Compromise is key.
It is. Finding that sweet spot where both partners feel heard and respected.
And sometimes seeking outside help from like a financial advisor could be beneficial.
that's a great idea.
They can provide neutral advice and kind of facilitate those conversations.
A financial advisor can act as a mediator,
Mm-hmm.
helping couples navigate those sensitive financial discussions and find solutions that work for both parties.
Okay, circling back to the source's point about how our attitudes toward money change over time,
Yeah.
what are some practical ways to kind of handle those shifts?
Well, it starts with self-reflection.
Okay.
Take some time to think about your own relationship with money. How has it evolved?
Yeah.
What are your priorities right now?
So like checking in with yourself to see if your financial habits
Yeah.
are still aligned with your values and goals.
Exactly. Are you on autopilot?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you consciously making choices that reflect what truly matters to you?
And as your priorities shift,
Yeah,
your financial plan should adjust accordingly.
absolutely.
Like early in your career, you might be focused on just building a solid financial foundation.
Right.
But later on, maybe you prioritize experiences or giving back to your community.
Mm-hmm.
So your financial plan should reflect those changes.
It should.
And remember, true wealth
Yeah.
isn't just about the numbers in your bank account.
No, it's not.
The source emphasizes non-material wealth.
Yes.
Things like strong relationships,
Right.
good health, personal growth, the experiences that shape us.
These are the things that truly matter.
It's about recognizing that money can't buy happiness, but it can help us achieve the things that bring us joy and fulfillment.
Absolutely.
Mm.
It's about using money as a tool to create a life that is rich in meaning and purpose, not just material possessions.
So as you reflect on your own financial journey, ask yourself, what truly matters to you? What kind of life do you want to build with the resources you have? And how can you use money as a tool to achieve those aspirations?
It's a powerful question.
It is.
That encourages us to move beyond the transactional nature of money and consider its role in crafting a life that aligns with our deepest values. And remember, it's never too late to make changes,
Right.
to adjust your course, and to ensure that your financial habits are supporting the life you want to live.
And on that note, let's move on to the final part of our deep dive, where we'll tie everything together and explore some final thoughts.
All right, so welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into all things money. We've covered so much,
We have.
from the basics of financial responsibility to how money impacts our relationships,
Right.
even how our views on it change over time.
Talks, yeah.
So as we wrap up, I want to bring it back to something that the source material emphasized,
Okay.
this idea of non-material wealth,
Yeah, a good reminder that it's not just about,
the numbers in your bank account.
right, true wealth encompasses so much more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Think about the strength of your relationships, the vibrancy of your health, enriching experiences,
Yeah.
and passions you pursue.
The things that make life worth living.
These are the things that money can't directly buy,
For sure.
but it can help us cultivate them,
It can definitely help us nurture them.
nurture them.
And knowing you value efficiency,
I do.
it's about using your resources wisely to achieve what truly matters.
It all goes back to that idea of intentionality, aligning your financial habits with your values and using this powerful tool, money, to craft a life that is rich in meaning and purpose.
Not just material possessions.
But just buying a bunch of stuff.
Exactly. So as we conclude this deep dive, I want to leave you with one final thought-provoking question.
Okay, hit me.
If money is a tool, what masterpiece are you building with it?
Ooh.
What kind of legacy are you creating?
Remember, there's no right or wrong answer.
No.
Your financial journey is unique.
It is.
What matters most is that you're making conscious choices,
Uh-huh.
aligning your financial habits with your values, and using money to build a life that is both personally fulfilling and has a positive impact on the world around you.
We hope this deep dive has sparked some insightful reflections about money and its role in your life.
It's a fascinating topic.
It is. And by understanding the nuances of money, you can harness its power to create a more prosperous and fulfilling future.
Absolutely.
Not just for yourself, but for everyone around you.
Everyone.
Thanks for joining us, and keep those deep thoughts flowing.
Keep them flowing.